question is, when did you start building instrument and why did you start this business? Maybe 80s? You're starting 31 years old, right?
So actually we are, the company exists 32 years.
Ah, yeah.
32 years. And you know, the background of everything is, I'm a musician. My father is a very, very good musician. He was playing this typical German instrument called Zither. This is an instrument with 50 strings, and he was playing accordion. And I started with guitar. As I think I was 11 years old. I started with guitar, and I always, or my characters, I always try to understand every detail, not only guitars, everything everywhere in the world. So, but especially with the guitar, I was very, very interested. How does a machine head work? Why do you need the shape for an acoustic guitar, for example? Why do you need this wooden ebony bridge or whatever? And so I was very interested in every detail, in everything. And then I think as I was 18 years old, I changed to bass guitar. You know, I was a guitar player, classical guitar, Spanish guitar, and a little bit rock and jazz guitar. And then I was playing in a band. The bass player has left, and the band leader said, "Holger, you must play the bass." And at the first moment, I was really disappointed. I said, "Bass guitar is boring."
Right.
Or the guitar player standing in the front of the stage and playing solo and everything, and the bass player is always in the background and is playing stupid thing. And then I said, okay, I will play the bass guitar. And then I was really, as I started playing bass guitar, I was really surprised about the wonderful instrument and the deep frequencies.
Right.
Yeah, and I learned that a bass player is maybe the most important instrument in a band, because you make the basics, the bottom.
Yeah, right.
Bottom of everything. Bass and drums together are the bottom.
Right.
Bottom of every kind of music. And I learned how the function and the possibilities of playing bass, because you can, as a bass player, you can change every song into more funky style, more ballad style, more rock style. You can, as a bass player, you are in charge of dynamic and everything. And then my first bass was a very cheap instrument.
Okay.
Always the head was falling down because it was too heavy. Then I made sort of bass guitar. Of course, is a great instrument, but especially this bass is very bad. The balance is bad. And then I made thoughts about how could I make everything better. And at this time, when I was 18, I had a good friend of mine. He was very much involved into electronical stuff, electronics, and then we came together and decided we will rent an old pig store, and we will rebuild it to an workshop. It was first workshop, yeah. And then the first 2 or 3 years we had lots of experiments with instruments. We changed the shape. Gerd is the name of my friend. He developed new electronics, and he was binding new pickups, and I was I got a lot of experiments and experience with different woods. So I tried mahogany for the neck, and the wengi for the neck, and for the body some different. We learned a lot, and yeah. So we started the Sandberg business. It was in the beginning. It was a kind of hobby, and then we did a lot of repairs. And in the time we did repairs, we learned a lot about details we can make better. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Nowadays, your bass very successful many countries. So now, totally, I understand what is a Sandberg bass tone. But each question for you, you still finding more good quality tone.
Yeah.
So, what is your tone you ultimately seek?
Wow. About the tone over the years, it's very interesting because the company is existing for more than 30 years. As we started, our big heroes was American instruments like alembic, and
R&B.
Yeah, and all this basically screw-neck body, and our sound was a kind of hi-fi sound, very high frequency for very, very high frequency for the treble, very low for the bass, and everything was clean. But it was in the middle or in the end of the 80s. And everybody loved the kind of hi-fi sound. And during the last 30 years, the sound has changed a lot. And since 10 years, we developed electronic and pickups, which offers more tight and useful sound.
Okay.
And I can say that we spent a lot of time, really a lot of time, with experiments with different sounds and checking frequencies, checking the width of
band EQ.
Right. And so, for example, we call it a tester bass. So always when we have ideas for a new model, for example, when we have ideas for a new rock bass, then we select pickups, or we develop pickups and different electronics, and then we go in our rehearsal room. Before we bring something on the market, we always go in our rehearsal room and play together with drums, with guitar, with keyboard, and then we can judge if everything fits well, everything is good for live and for the musical style, for a live situation or musical style. Because when you develop an electronic or a pickup and you check alone on an amp, everything sounds good.
Because playing alone.
Yeah, when you play alone, everything sounds good. But you only can judge frequency or sound when you play with a band together. Then you can, then you can hear. Oh, this bass frequency. When I push the bass frequency, this bass frequency fits the fits the bass drum of a drum kit, or the snare drum, or it's far away from frequencies far away from the guitar player or the keyboard, and this is a very, very important for us to have experiments and checking all new electronics and pickups together with other instruments. For example, the tester bass, you can move the pickups. When we have an idea for a new bass model, first we put everything in this tester bass. We go in our rehearsal room and checking the right position, because every position sounds different. Yeah. Right. That's why we check everything for a long time, and finding the right position or the right frequency.
So, it meaning is you always searching or finding.
We always
good. Your ultimate tone, meaning is a good harmony with the other player.
Yeah. And because we have a very good contact, a very close and personal contact to lots of our endorsers, like Rammstein, Oliver Riedl from Rammstein, or Ida Nielsen, or other people, we always come close together. And when we have new ideas, we ask these guys, what do you think about this tone or this tone? And this is very important.
Yeah, right. So you told me now you're an endorser. So what kind of music gene do you think your instrument suits? And who would you like to work with the future?
I think we always like to work with people who have good ideas. Ideas for a new sound, new musical style, or have people who are creative. It don't depends on musical style. It could be speed metal or funk or folk music or whatever. You know? So I can say we are open-minded for every good idea, creative thing. You know?
Okay.
That's why I can say we have the best job in the world.
Yeah, right.
So I can say I have the best job in the world because we always have experiments with finishes, with material, with different sounds, different pickups, neck shape, different fingerboard material, and this makes my job so interesting.
Yeah.
Because we always we are allowed to be in kind of creative. You know?
Okay, it's a good answer. So, some company wanted to work with it in future, like Marcus Miller, something, talk great music, but you didn't answer like that. It's interesting.
You know, for me, it's not important if a partner is a well-known bass player or a well-known musician. For me, it's more important if this guy has good ideas and is creative. You know?
Okay.
It could be a local band.
Yeah.
You know, we don't care.
You don't care.
If the idea is great, then we follow his idea.
Or he got a personal, unique music style. Okay.
You know, we are very proud when we have well-known musicians, of course. You know, I'm very proud that we work together with Rammstein, Ian Nielsen, or Ken Taylor, for example. We have a very, very good kind of partnership with friendship with Ken Taylor. So I'm proud of all this well-known and popular bass players. But we also have totally respect for people who have good ideas.
Okay. So already you respect my idea. And another question is, among the many advantages of your product, what is the most appealing to your customers?
But I hear very often is that people, new customer who take or check a bass the first time. Some of them or many of them say, well, you know, I get an email from a customer. He said, I was in a music shop and I never tried a Sandberg before. Then I took a Sandberg and I felt familiar. And this is the biggest and best compliment I ever get, you know. Because it means when people go in a music shop and you have thousands of different brands, different models, and when they take a Sandberg and start to play, and when they say, wow, I feel familiar, that means that the neck profile, they like the neck profile and the body shape, the belly shaping, the arm shaping, and you know, it's a first touch. To take a new instrument, take it, starts playing, and the first impression is very, very important. And when people say, wow, I took your bass, and my first impression was, it feels familiar, this is the best compliment. And we have lots of experiments with different neck shapes, for example. And it's so important that the neck feels very well and has a good shape. Because when you take it the first time and say, oh, it feels like I play this bass for 30 years, I feel familiar, then it's a big compliment, you know.
Yeah. So each your kind of motto, like a modern tradition.
Yeah. It's a kind of philosophy. So we have our important model, like the California bass, is looking traditional, like a traditional bass, but it feels modern, more comfortable, better balanced, you know, better handling and so on. And I think we are pretty well known for a good mix of traditional looking and modern feeling.
Yeah, I agree. Your face always good balance in between there. Okay, last question is especially just for you. Your company Sandberg always develop unique finish, like include aged, but you got a patchwork and serpentine and aluminum finish, also rusty, many things in. Yeah, so where your idea get from some?
Yeah, this is a good question. You know, if you look open-minded with big eyes in the world, around the world, then you get inspiration from everywhere. For example, when I go to IKEA and see new furniture style, new finishes, it could be that I'm really impressed and inspired from, I don't know, a chair, a finish. Then it could be that I think, oh wow, this finish looks great. Why don't we try to bring it on the base?
Okay.
Or the idea with the rust finish was I saw a very rusty car, a very old car from the 50s. And it was really rusty. And I thought, wow, it looks great. Rust is kind of brown, you know, and the haptic and everything looks really great. Let's try to bring this finish on the base. Because normally a base is made from wood, of course.
Of course.
And rust only is existing with metal. And to combine a wooden instrument like a bass with a metal finish, it was a very interesting idea.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, so.
Or aluminum, the same as aluminum.
I can guess you get you get idea of puzzle work from.
Puzzle, you mean puzzle?
Yeah.
Puzzle. Yeah, it was just, I think the puzzle finish was a spontaneous idea. As my daughter was around 10 years old, we did a lot of puzzles. And then I hold some puzzle pieces in my hand, and I said, oh, yeah, why not make a body from pieces of wooden puzzles?
Yeah, it looks great.
And it was very, very difficult to produce in massive 4 centimeter thick wood parts. No? It was very difficult. The programming.
So you get an idea from your whole environment and open mind. Okay. Okay. So it's a good interview. So next time we can make some experiment with you.
Of course. Okay. Always. You're always welcome for new ideas and inspiration.